Mingo. Hello guys, yeah, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a quick one actually because I'm on my way out. Like, I have a house tour to do in the next 30 minutes, but I just feel like sharing this. Let's do our very first story time on this channel. Guys, please don't mind the cock that is scrolling at the back. Anytime I pick up my camera, that's when they would want to shout. Okay, so that's what we see in rural areas. So that being said, we are here to share our very first story on this channel. From the title, you already know how I almost ended up as a third wife. For real. So I'm sharing this for two reasons. I want us to learn from my story as always, and secondly, to let you guys know that there is power in spoken word. Okay, so when we get back, I'm going to give you guys the full gist. Welcome back. Like, I would have been, what do they call it, alhajia or something. Like, I would have married an alhajia. So where do I even begin the story? Where do I begin the story, guys? It was after my uni. You know, there's this mentality that to have around NYSC. If you graduated from uni, like if you're a Nigerian graduate going to youth service and you did not explore, like in quotes, you know what I mean, like if you did not really explore while you were in the university, you will relate to what I am about to explain, like the feeling that you have when you're going to youth service. Like going to youth service, I already told myself that I am going to explore. My lips is chapped. So guys, sorry for that short break. I already told myself that enough of these checks, enough of this you're being reserved, enough of being an introvert. See, you're going to spread your wings, you're going to explore, you're going to mingle, you know, stuff like that. I've already told myself all these things before even going to the uni. Now, secondly, why I've said that there's power in spoken word. Growing up, I've always had this kind of belief, like everybody around me knows me with my slogan that I'm not going to marry a young star. You get, like, I don't want to marry somebody who is young. Like when you're seeing, say that young man, it's not really about being older than me, but don't just look young. I want it matured. I want them grown. I want them responsible, in quotes. Like I want a man that I will have that confidence that yes, this one truly was to settle down. Like that's what I believe, that it comes with age. Okay, while I was still in school, my dad has been a stumbling block. Like nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants me to bring home an older person. I now went for my youth service. So during youth service, you know how coppers will always wear our khaki. You dress up so that anybody that will see you will know that you are a copper. Okay, so I was posted to the northern part of this country. We are doing our thing jejely. They push, they go. Until one day, I and my friends, we went out for shopping. So I still remember that fateful day, and after shopping, we had the counter to pay. That was one of the biggest supermarkets we had in that state. When they were shopping and when we were about to pay, somebody now paid for us. So normally now, you know, when somebody pays for your bills, you have to at least say thank you. So we got to thank the guy. It was not a guy, he was a man. A man with a water like this. So when we not thank the man, as we were stepping out, he now offered to give us a lift. Then this country was good. Don't try this at home. Like, don't even try this that I'm saying now. Don't enter any car that you don't know. But then we entered actually. So the man took us back home, back to our lodge, collected our numbers, and then we started talking from there. So after that day that we exchanged contacts, I discovered that this guy started calling me, like in particular. And whenever he calls, my friends will be like, check, speak, that our maga, you know, stuff like that. So it was from that space that we started off with our conversations. And at a point, I started noticing that he was bringing up his marital issues anytime we are talking. Like, he will want to tell me about his wives. I think they were just two. What I could make up from our conversations during those periods was that they were just two. You know, he would always tell me the senior and the junior. Maybe every other person apart from the first one would just be the junior. And being a marriage counselor that I am, just was offering a free class to this man. Like, I always advise, I always counsel in my own little way. Mind you, I told you guys that my circle of friends then were all older than me. Like, all older than me. I mingle with old people because that's where I find my safe zone, my comfort zone. Okay, so we continued like that. So sometimes he would just come around with his friends that he just want to cool off, and all of us would gist, maybe stand by the car gist, or inside the car we gist for a long time. When it's very late, he will go. Sometimes he will just take us to a suya spot, we'll buy suya and we'll go. Sometimes if we are going for CDS, this man will volunteer to come and take us to CDS. He was that romantic, guys. Like, so sometimes when he travels and come back, he'll come back with a lot of goodies for me and my friends. So he was literally sweeping me off my feet. But you know me, there's no way I'll come back with a married man now. Or do I want to kill my parents? You know, that kind of thing. So I was not even planning to date him. I loved this man. I felt so comfortable in his arms, or in his company rather, not his arms. I was never in his arms. So I felt so comfortable in his company. I loved his conversations. I loved his gist. He was a very current man. That was why we were rolling for like 2-3 months until that fateful day. When we were gisting initially, he started saying something about coming to UNN to do something that he did his master's and PhD in UNN. So he will want to travel with me when we pass out, so that he will go to the school to finish something, to complete something in the school. It was like a plan on ground that two of us were going to travel together. I know when you have a free ride, and when I talk about ride, I mean a clean ride. This man is rich. In fact, he is rich. He has it, to be honest. Like, if you see cars, clean cars, latest. So I would have enjoyed my ride home. Okay, so that was the plan. But for me, being so naive, I could not still put those things together. I didn't know where he was coming from or where he was going. There was a day he came again and we were just talking, and he was like, have you told your dad about me? And I was like, well, I've not. Like, I've actually told him that I met so many fantastic people, so many good people here, but not like I've told him anything about you in particular. He said, okay, so when are you planning to do that? This question would have told me something, would have signaled something to me, but I was still not putting things together. I was so, when a naive girl wants to mingle with the big boys, that kind of thing. So I couldn't still make anything out of it. He said, so when are you planning to tell him about me? And I was like, okay, maybe I'll tell him I met someone who did his master's in UNN, maybe an ex-student, a super lion rather, because when you're a graduate, you become a super lion, a super lioness. So I was coming from that angle. I didn't know that this man had other plans until that fateful day. He came around, he said he wanted to take us out, he wanted us to go and hang out somewhere, and I should get ready with my friends, we should just dress up that we were going somewhere. Girls now, we don't use our ear to hear we are going to eat free food and possibly pick some takeaway. So quickly, all of us dressed up and we entered the car. He came with one of his friends, so they were actually in front, discussing their thing in their language, not knowing that one of us could hear their language. Like, to him, he felt, or maybe he thought, that all of us were all strangers in their town, okay, that we could only hear and speak English. So, not knowing that she could hear them, at a point I got a message from somebody seated right beside me, my friend just sent me a message and said, Mama, there's something I want to tell you now, and I want you to maintain. No body language, no attitude, no screaming, just maintain. I said, okay, go ahead. The next thing that entered was, I still remember that day. The next thing that entered was, we are on our way to your engagement party. And I was like, engagement? How? He said, surprise engagement party. That's where they are taking you to. All of us, we are going to that place now. This man is about to propose to you. And I was like, wow, whoa, just wait. What is going on here? Like, what is really going on? Are you being real? He said, yes, that's what they are discussing. In fact, he was asking him if he should take me home. Home is like his own house, so that my senior could take care of me, and before we now proceed to the engagement party or something. If I tell you, a million things came to my head at a time, and I was like, what have I done to myself? Checks. Why did you give this man so much room for him to believe that you guys could be together? Like, where did I go wrong? Did I give him wrong impression? Did I tell him I could marry a married man? How did we get to this point? Like 1,001 things were coming to my head, and I was asking my friend almost immediately, what do we do? How do we get out of this? I'm not going to that venue. How do we get out? And she was like, let's think fast though, because we are getting close. From what they are discussing, it is so and so hotel. Like, we already know where we are going to. Trust the girls now. Before you know it, I started developing sickness. So I started being sick, for real. Like, I was sick, my temperature, my tummy, everything. Like, I should just go home. I need to go home. I need to get to the house. I need to freshen up. I need to pour water on my head. I need to vomit. I need to, like, a lot of things were happening to me at the same time, and the man was so surprised and scared. Like, what is happening? You were okay now, gisting. What is going on? What is happening? And that was how they had to take me back to the house. And he was not telling the friend, are you sure we're not going to reschedule this? Maybe I should just call those people over there and tell them it might not happen today again. You see why I said I should have taken her home, so that her senior would take care of her. I noticed that she was not really looking like her best, and this man had to stay with us till 11 p.m. Like, I've never seen a man that caring. If not that this girl has a fear of God. If not that this girl has home training. If not, I don't know what would have happened. Like, I don't know if I would have been the same person that I am today, because I would have fallen for this man. Like, fallen. Everything about this man is spot on. Like, is everything that you want. Remove religion, remove money, remove marriage, you will still love this man. He's caring, he's of age, he's reasoning, everything. Like, he's understanding. I don't know how to explain it, but I thank God for my good friends. In fact, this is for you. I'm just saying this thank you, because you really saved my life back then. Like, you really saved me. Maybe I would have still been in the north by now. Oh, God of mercy. So that was how we quickly ran back to the house, and my friends were like, good a thing. Coincidentally, that was towards our passing out. In fact, I think we had to pass out the next day or in 2 days. And after the whole thing that night, when they now brought me home, my friend was like, you know what will happen? Immediately after passing out, you're not sleeping in this house. So start packing your things, because passing out will be like the next day, okay? So pack your things this night. Once you pick your certificate, you're moving to my uncle's house. She has an uncle living close to the park inside town. So you say you're moving to my uncle's house, and from there, you're boarding the next day back to the east. If you want this your head to still be on your neck, and if you don't want to put your parents through stroke. So that was how I escaped, and I had to do that to save my head and go back home intact. The story that follows is a story for another day, but that was how I escaped. And till today, it has been like a phone thing. And you know, when it's a phone thing and the distance is far, even if you come to the east, which part of the east, even if you come to you, and then where are you going to stay? Same, it became an issue. We talked for a while and the whole thing died off, and your girl became safe. Okay, that is what happens when the grace of God is upon your life. If not, I don't know, it would have been a different story. So that's the story I want to share with you guys today. It just came to my mind. I said, let me quickly share with my friends before I dash out for that house tour. So stay tuned and wait for that house tour. And if you've not subscribed, why don't you subscribe? This is a very warm and sweet channel. Don't miss out, okay? Click the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our content. And stay safe, and see you in my next video. Love you like always. Bye.